Welcome. In this video we're going to show you how to prepare your green screen footage of your hand to create a keyed out version of your hand. Now the first thing you want to realize is that our green screen isn't perfect. It's not perfectly lit. There's some problems in it, and that's these little shadows. Also, you can move forward in time and notice that sometimes other objects get in there. So here's what you want to do. The first thing you want to try to do is add a garbage mat to this. Now, what you can do is click on the layer that you're working on, okay, and obviously to get that you would just drag that into a new composition. But in this case I have hand green, the green screen footage, and it is in a composition called hand keylight. Anyway, so this hand that's got the green around it, we're going to get rid of that green. And the way to get rid of that green first is to give it a garbage mask. Now, the pen tool works just like pen tool has been before. Basically, you start outside, and knowing that my hand in general moves in this area, I'm going to mark off that area of the screen, just kind of adding parts. Now, obviously, if I had gone down, for example, if I had gone down here, that would cut off my finger. So basically, when you're on a layer and you draw with the pen tool, it masks off that region, so that little spot over there, I don't even have to worry about it. So now I'm just going to check through, just scrub through my video and make sure that no fingers get cut off by my mask. Okay, good. We're good. Okay, so now at this point, we want to find the key light effect. Now you just go to your effects and presets and you type in key light, and key light 32 here is what we want to use. I'm going to drag it onto the layer to make sure that it goes on that layer. Now you want to select the most common green in this image. Now you use the screen color first. This is the first step, is to get part of the green, and you're like, oh wow, that's perfect, I got rid of it. Not necessarily. If I toggle my transparency, you can see that I've got some gray over here. And there's a couple other things that help us show what we're, the true transparency of this area. So let's check this view here. It says final result. I'm going to change it from final result to what is called a screen matte. Now you can see in the screen matte, here's what it is. Everything white is showing, everything black goes away. So obviously I got some problems here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to increase my screen gain here to pull that up a little bit. That might have done a lot. I also want to change my view over here to this thing called status, which status is an exaggerated view of what we're seeing. Now what it does is it says, hey, these white parts, those are good. You're good on that. These black parts, you're good on that. The gray parts, a little iffy. So what you'd want to do is go down to screen matte here, and where it says clip black, we're going to raise that until we get the black to go away, and we're going to lower clip white until we get the gray to go away some. Now basically what the gray means is that those are partially transparent pixels, so it's like, maybe a blurry edge halfway there. And if you scroll through, we're pretty good in the most part. You're also going to start to see some green in there. That has to do with this screen balance. So if I turn this up, you see how there's green coming in? That's going to give us transparent pixels. I'm going to leave it around 50. Now, these numbers here that I'm using are going to be different depending on what the person was wearing, how well we lit the green screen. But the main process is usually what we do. We start with the screen color. We check the screen matte. We increase the gain. We change it to status, we jump over to the screen matte, we increase the black, decrease the white, and that's usually about the process we're going to use. Okay, so now we can switch back to the final result, and you can see that her hand is cut out nice and neat. So after that, what you want to do is go ahead and add this to render queue. Now, this is going to create a very large file. I know this is only 8 seconds, but it's going to create a very large file. We're going to go composition and add to render queue. Now the thing we're trying to do is keep the transparency in the video. Okay, so when you're in the render queue, you have to change some of these settings. We're going to go to lossless and click on that word. Wait a moment, and then this little panel will come up for the output module settings. Now, the format AVI can do what is called an alpha channel. It can do RGB plus alpha, meaning it's going to have all the millions of colors, and then it's going to have transparency. Other things, like ones we normally use, is like H.264, doesn't allow you to do that. There is no alpha channel in a lot of these. So if you want an alpha channel, you have to use something like an AVI, an FLV, or the QuickTime. I'm going to do a QuickTime because I tend to like that one the most. And I'm going to do QuickTime, and I'm going to change RGB to RGB plus alpha. Now click OK, and then we get to choose the file name. Now I'm going to just go ahead and leave it there, but if you want to put it in a different spot, you can click on it and put it where you want to go, just by clicking on it and putting it where you want to go. So anyway, you click render, and then you're done. And that video will be ready to be used in your other project.